I put forward who I am, and who I am is a soul who is living in a physical body that happens to be unwell. And I do the best that I can to take care of it. But when I can't, I let my spirit come through, and my soul and my survival skills and my passion to want to help others. You have to have a passion. There's no doubt about it. You have to have a reason to help others. I can't think, Emily, of a better reason to be put on this earth if not to help others. What other reason is there? Is it for money? Is it for fame? Is it for a house? Is it for to have children? What is it other than to help others? What other reason are we here?
Welcome to another episode of Age of Reinvention. Redefine Freedom, Lifestyle and Purpose at Midlife. I'm your host, Emily Bron. And today we have an extraordinary guest who embodies the essence of reinvention and resilience. Joining us is Kathy Tarochione, a 78 years old entrepreneur, community leader, and digital artist based in Las Cruces, New Mexico. After 34 years career in healthcare and the tragic loss of her husband, Kathy faced daunting health challenges. Yet, she used her adversity as fuel to empower women over 55 years old through the Golden Life community. Her innovative initiatives like the Golden Connections and the planned Golden Spaces aim to combat depression, anxiety, and loneliness among older women. At the same time, her beautiful digital art celebrates mature women and their pets. Get ready to be inspired by Kathy's incredible journey, her unwavering positive mindset, and her community-driven spirit. So sit back, relax, and dive into a conversation filled with inspiration and purpose. Hello, Kathy. I'm so happy to see you and your smile today.
Good morning, Emily. I'm so happy to be here as well. I can't wait to share my magnificent journey through this body and in this life. And as a strong woman, just like you are, I am looking forward to it.
Thank you, Kathy. Your life journey and professional adventures, running the animal shelter to founding the Golden Life community, is fascinating. What was the driving force behind this and other transitions for you?
My the most important and the best driving force that I ever had was that I had the opportunity to meet Mother Teresa in 1996, and I met her in Calcutta. I was chosen to be part of a healthcare delegation to go to India, and I was honored to meet her in her own place, in her office. And I might mention that in Calcutta, when you go to Mother Teresa's office, you go up this stairway that is so small, somebody that's fat would not be able to fit going up to it. But she was up there, very modest. I'm 5'7", and she came up to my breast area. She walked on her ankles, and she was just a beautiful person. When I was there, and she knew that I was there in support of battered women. So there was a domestic violence, supporting women, supporting animals, and then also supporting AIDS victims. This was something that was close to her. So when I was leaving, she came down the stairs and she wanted to come up and give me a hug. And also she took my face in her hands, and I asked her, What is it that you do? Why are you so successful at what you do?" And she told me that she never looks back, that she only looks in the front of her, and whatever she sees, if there's someone in need, she acts on it. So with that in mind, I have followed that through the years. Now, I didn't realize it until that time in 1996, that years earlier, when I had been working with helping animals, I was one of the types that was an animal advocate, or if I saw somebody that was in need, whether it be a woman or a man or someone that was in need, I was always there to offer help. I'm the type that couldn't go by a homeless person without giving them something. And it didn't have to be money. It could be a ride, it could be find shelter, could be clothing, it could be housing, it could be whatever. But I always found that wherever I had lemons in my life or catastrophes, whatever lesson I learned from it, I was always willing to give back based on my own personal experiences. So if you think of just that one common thread through my entire life, I helped animals because I helped those that were in need. If I saw an animal that was being abused or if they were chained to a fence, they didn't have proper shelter, I was there to take action to get something done, getting animal control to come out, getting them out of that environment and getting them into a home where they would be loved. So through the years, I had all these episodes in my life that allowed me to take action to help other people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. It's amazing story. And I really recognize that you had already some, flame inside as a personality, because it cannot, for some people, it's come after some event. And you've had several events in your life. And meeting with Mother Teresa, it's one of them, like big influencers. But you already such a person who reflect different needs probably, or different tune to the pain of other people. And still, my next question, amid significant health challenges, you have continued to lead and inspire. What role does your philosophy of positive thinking play in your daily life and work?
What a great question. I can say that my health has been a major issue for me in the last actually 20 years. It's diminishing and it continues to keep diminishing. I feel like it's just being chipped away. I get more and more challenges. And the more challenges that I have, the deterioration of my health comes into it. And my world becomes smaller and smaller to where I am today, where I'm literally homebound and I really can't get out. I have a for your audience so that they know I have severe COPD, congestive heart failure, rheumatoid arthritis, AFib, and bradycardia. I just got out of the hospital having COVID pneumonia. I was in intensive care for 2.5 weeks, and they didn't think that I would make it. But then again, I was in the hospital 2.5 years ago, and at that time, they told me I wouldn't make it and to put my affairs in order. So I keep overcoming the statistics and the odds, and I believe that's all because of my positive attitude. I don't look at being unwell as suffering. I look at it as a challenge. Okay, so am I uncomfortable? Sure, I'm uncomfortable. Do I have these things? Yeah. But where's the prize? Where's the prize? And the prize for me is that I can help other women. Because for everything that happens to me, think about it, Emily, everything that happens to me, for anybody in your audience that is listening, and they hear it and they might say, "Oh my God, that's me too. I feel that too." If I can resonate with them on any level, even for 1 minute or 30 seconds of whatever my story is, then I've helped someone for that day. And I call it making it through the rain. We all have our times when we are in the rain, we're in the storm, we don't know how to get out of it. We have all these issues going on, and we look to others to help us out of the rain. when it's so easy to be able to help yourself out. Just pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and say, okay, you know what? I made it through. I'm still here. May have a little bit more problems, might have to take some additional medication, might have to do some additional meditation too, and make myself stronger. But the healing process to me is about mental strength. It's not about physical strength. If you don't have, and if I should really say, and I don't want to stereotype anyone else, but if I don't build myself up to have a mental strength that makes me happy with who I am, love who I am, and be able to look in the mirror every morning and say, hi, Kath, glad you're still here. And what are we going to do today that we're going to feel good about ourselves? Because that's how I look at it. If I can do something to help somebody else, that makes me feel good. And I want to do things that are going to make me feel good.
Thank you. It was amazing answer, and I would add only what I understand. In addition to your life philosophy and personality, it's a sense of purpose. It's probably this. Yes, I even cannot say the meaning and purpose of helping others. It's what give you energy and power to go on.
It's funny because there's a lot of people that say things like God helps those who help themselves, and I don't want to bring religion or even spirituality or anything into it, but the truth is that yes, we can help ourselves, but at times we do need others, not to have them fix us, but to share with us. One of the reasons why you're going to go into the Golden Life community. So when you go into that, I'll explain about that. I know you have your agenda set. Okay.
Yes, we will speak about your amazing community at the end because I really would like to put special attention to this. It's not a topic, it's bigger than life, I would say. And I'm still now at the beginning trying to uncover who is Kathy. And going a little bit back, you've been involved in diverse sectors, from healthcare to pet media production, and later to your golden age community. What are some of the most significant lessons you've learned across these different industries, I would say, or different life directions?
Early on, I learned that it was a man's world and that the man ruled. Now I'm 78 years old. So in my day and age, it was always the fun thing to go and take the client out to dinner, have a few drinks, have some fun. It was party time. For a woman to be in the healthcare industry, or in any industry for that matter, in a managerial or in an executive position, it was very far and few between. So having to get up to that level meant that I had to de-sex myself. I had to have people view me as a person, not as a man or as a woman, and get them to listen to what I had to say, not what I look like or what my gender or my race or my sex was. And that was a significant thing. That was a lesson that I was able to do. And because of that, I was successful in the healthcare industry, because trying to talk with physicians is very difficult if you don't have respect. So the respect, the trust, the loyalty, and the knowledge of how to do that was very important. So my messaging was always very clear. I'm here to help you. Either you want to listen to me or you don't. Just that simple.
Okay, I think you puzzled your vis-a-vis.
Yeah. Which is really true, because you can't tell the physician, or you can't tell a man for that matter. You can't really tell them very readily that they need help. They have to recognize that they need help, and then they will seek whatever you have to offer. And if they're comfortable with who you are, and they're comfortable with what you have to say and your purpose and your reasoning, and you're not in it for this quote money, you're in it for the actual solution, then it works. So that's the biggest lesson that I have learned in my entire life, and I've carried that through. Now, don't get me wrong, Emily. Have I been successful at everything I've ever done? No. But I believe that whether I made money or not, if I made a difference in someone's life, then I was successful. So I would say that the majority of the attempts that I have made to help others have been my successes. It's not about how much money I made, what kind of a house I have, what kind of a car I have, what environment I live in. It's who are the people that respect me, honor me, and look at me as though I am someone that has helped them through the rain. And I love wearing that badge. It's a badge of courage for a woman. It's a badge of loyalty. I'm a great golden friend. I'm wonderful at being able to sit and help someone without trying to fix them. And I love that. And that's my 18-year-old dog. That's Charlie.
Yes, it's supporting you.
He is exactly.
And question about different aspect of your multidimensional life. I know that you've had and probably still have dog show, yes, podcast. How do your live shows for pets and golden life community contribute to the purpose and wellness of women in their golden years?
Okay, like I said, I've been an animal advocate for 58 years, primarily dogs. And I've also run a shelter. I've run foster rescue plans, and I've always been actively involved. And in 2012, I started broadcasting the Dog Connection show. And this was a show that was designed to help people how to live their life much happier if they learn from a dog. So the way we created it was from a dog's perspective. So I would do a little talking heads of dogs, and I would do things. I'd love to show them to you, but I'll give you a link so you could share them with people. And it was things like the dog is sitting and going, wait a minute. Why are you upset that I pooped in the house? No, it's not my problem. It's your problem because I went to the door. I tried to let you know. You decided not to notice me. And there it came out. I couldn't help it. You're the fault. Oh, don't you want to hit me? No, I don't think so. Don't hit me, hit yourself. It was things like that. And I would create these characters, and it really resonated with people. But what I found was that in the Dog Connection show, when we did our analysis and our statistics, 87% of our audience was women over 55. So when we went into the Golden Life community, which was based on my own personal experiences, I realized that we have to bring the dog connection into the Golden Life community because what better mascot than a dog for an aging woman and a mature woman? What a great model. What a great companion. So we encourage all women to, even if it's a stuffed animal, to have a dog, have some kind of a being that is there that can be there for you. So the two came close together, and what happened was the Golden Life community purchased the company, which is my company, Picture a Moment Pet Productions. So it purchased it. So now it's part of the Golden Life community. So when we do a show, the show is geared towards aging with a dog and how people can how especially an older woman, she's worried about, I don't want to adopt a puppy, and she probably couldn't adopt a puppy because of her age. But if she did decide that she wanted to, it might be from a rescue. There's a lot of challenges with that because if you're not in a position where you can walk the dog and they've got a lot of energy and they might destroy things and all that, there's a lot of precautions that have to be made. So we recommend adopt an older dog, adopt a senior dog, or one that will age with you, will be slower, will be there, will be by your side, and will support you. So we're currently working right now on trying to provide a foster program that will give food, medical care, and help to any senior or any woman that is part of our community that will adopt or even foster one of these animals, and the care will be taken care of in terms of financially.
Are you still running this show about dogs?
Yes, yes, yeah. Now I was out of commission for a while, as I mentioned, because I became unwell, and that took me out. So I'm just getting back on my feet now. And I might add too that I also had a stroke at the same time. I had COVID pneumonia. It's been a battle, and believe me, Emily, when you get older like this, it's like there must be a reason why I'm still here. There has to be a reason because the doctors were coming in. I almost died 3 times, and they were they were astounded that I was still here.
You proved them several times that they're wrong.
A lot, really, yeah. And the truth is that they put me on so much medication, and it was like they had me on steroids, and then the steroids caused my glucose to go up, and then my glucose went up to almost to 500, and then they had to give me insulin shots. I never had any problems before, but what happened was COVID attacked every single organ. I shouldn't say every single, my pancreas, my kidneys, my liver, and my heart. And it came after me with a vengeance. And the second week I thought I was going to do better, boom, it would hit me again. And I could not function. I just couldn't function. And I felt like I was living in a different body. I didn't even recognize myself. Now I belong to a long COVID group because they say I have long COVID, and I'm learning a lot from these women. I got a rash. They call it the COVID stress rash, and it's from all the stresses. It's just like hives or like shingles. It's got the itches, it's got all of that stuff, and oh man, and I'm losing my hair. All of these things that you wouldn't think would come with COVID. So what am I doing now? I'm also helping women that have gone through COVID, and I decided to join this group, and now in as part of the Golden Life community, we're going to invite women that have experienced long COVID, and there's a ton of them.
God bless you, Kathy. And I'm just wondering how women find you. Are you so known in these circles that because you are at home, so you communicating mostly online, I believe. Yes, people, the women coming to your place.
Yes, and also I strongly believe in I have a strong spiritual path, and I believe in energy, and I believe in manifestation. So I'm like a manifestation station.
Our house, actually.
Yeah, yes, which means that it seems as though the energy that I get from people are energy that seek my services or seek what I do for them. And then they want me to be on their show or something like that. Now, because of my age and my physical limitations, I can't do as much as I would like to do. As an example, when I wake up every morning, I think, as I told you, I look in the mirror and I say, "Good morning, Kathy." And I smile and I say, "What are we going to do today to help someone else?" I got a laundry list, Emily, of all the people that I could help. And I've got 15, 20 things. And I have a wonderful brother that he will come forward and he'll say, "Kath, take it easy, take it slow. You don't need to do it," because many of the people that I had hundreds of people that were following me when I was in the hospital. When they didn't hear from me, they thought I was dead. They thought I had died. And so therefore, when you're out of sight and you're out of mind, because we're talking a couple of months that I was absent, and when you're gone, they think, "Oh, well, but their life goes on." So when I came back in, it was like a whole new entrance, and I had to let them know I was alive, but it still hasn't resonated. So now I'm back on what can I do to let them know? So I'm preparing some stories, and I'm preparing some things that are letting them know I'm here, and let's resonate with each other. Let's share each other's stories again. So that's where I am. So I picked myself up and starting all over. So in answer to your question in terms of the audience, they lost sight of me and they lost track of me. I've got a heavy following on a lot of social media. Just on the Dog Connection alone, we got over 300,000 fans on that. We've got on LinkedIn, I've got quite a number on there, and Twitter and Instagram. And we're pretty well out there. But if you don't post, if you don't have content, if you don't let people know that you're there, they lose sight of it and then you're out of the picture. So I have to go back into that now.
Who is helping you to manage all this social media and other like aspects of your podcast, Golden Age? There is some team support.
We did have a lot of volunteers that came forward in the beginning. And then when I became ill, everyone thought, seriously, Emily, everybody thought it's going to fall because Kathy isn't around. And then we realized, oh my God, I have to have a successor because for investors to get involved, they've got to know that it's not all about me. And that's a difficult thing to do. So we've been diligently looking for a successor for me. And we're also looking at those women that want to come forward that may be interested in an equity position, on a sweat equity position where they can help and work with us. But the women that were involved with us to begin with until I got sick, they did a remarkable job of getting the social media out, getting things together. I do have a VA, Jolly Beth. She is wonderful, and she has been with me for a year and a half now. Been with us, I should say. I have turned over the main focus to my partner, who is Scott Winton, and he has taken it over because he knows that I'm limited. You know what my role is now in the Golden Life, and what my role is just to go out and tell my story. So I'm a happy camper with that.
And actually, it's very interesting because, again, everyone is speaking about storytelling as a tool, as a topic, but again, your stories really warming the heart, I would say. And it's not La La Land. It's so close to life and real issues. But with all this, I believe that as a live broadcaster and producer for years, you know how to do it. But how do you ensure that content is still engaging and responsible at these days and times when people are so distracted by different social media and different news, sometimes harsh news coming from everywhere?
What I do seriously is I research what the topics are that that women are really looking at. Looking at, and I don't want to say keywords, but topics that really want to resonate with women. And not so much resonate with them today, but what is holding them back that they weren't able to do in the past, and they still want to do it, but they say, I'm too old, I'm not able to. What is it that held them up? What blockage was that came in? And maybe they go to maybe they go to a therapist of some kind or whatever. But if they open up to a group of women and they share that story, you'd be amazed at how the doors open for them and the healing begins. Because now they've looked at the things that have hurt them, the things that have bothered them. So that's what I look at. What are the topics that we really don't want to talk about, but we know are there? You can go to all of these things where you talk about makeup, you talk about fashion, you talk about travel, you talk about all these things. But what about the nitty gritty? What's the thing that is really holding you back, that is bothering you? And that's what I get on. So, for instance, I'm a TikToker.
Really?
Yeah, I'm a TikToker. Yeah.
Okay, nice surprise.
I did a right before I went into the hospital. I did a TikToker because the one of the issues that is a big major thing from women between 55 and 85 for that matter is, what are we going to do with mom? And the women will not face that because they got the kids to take care of, they've got everything. But all of a sudden, a woman that's 55 is looking at her mother and thinking, oh my God, she just fell. She broke her hip. She's in the hospital. She needs to come in rehab. Who's going to take care of mom when she comes out? Who's going to take care? What is going to be needed? all of a sudden she starts getting dementia or she starts getting, there's all these issues. What are we going to do with mom? Although a husband and wife make the decision for her mom or for her mother in law, it generally is the woman that ends up having to handle it all, putting all the plan and everything together. And the truth is, if you look at your mother and you're happy with where she's at right now, then God bless. But if you look at her and you don't have a clue of how she's going to be taken care of or what's going to happen, then you're in deep trouble. You better look at it now and take a look at,
What do you mean look up to plant some?
again, how many women don't know where they're going to put their mother if something happens to her. And the mother is going to say, guaranteed, I don't want to go anywhere. I want to age in place. I want to stay in my own home. So who does the daughter pick up a phone and call or go onto the internet and search for it? There is no organization, but there is now
You mean the organization?
the Golden Life community. Yes,
Oh, you're dealing with this aspect as well.
we're dealing with this aspect. Yes. Yes. So that we call it the Golden Housing Facilitator. Many women will, as an example, a woman may want to, her husband just passes away. She's in her 60s or 70s. She doesn't want to go into an independent living facility. She wants to stay in her own home. She's got this big home. What does she do with it? Does she bring in renters, women that are like her, or what does she do? That planning process needs somebody that understands what it's like to be her agent in her position. And you also need to know, if I'm going to look at these women as potential people coming in to my home and I'm going to share my life and share my home and share my personal space with them, who are these women that are going to come in? So there needs to be an assessment of, who are you? Who are you, Emily? You want to come live in my house. I don't know you. Let's find out who you are. Let's do an assessment. Are we going to be compatible? Can we live together? Can we have a problem? Are you a neatnik and I'm a slob? Can we live in going into the common areas? All of these things are all issues that need to be brought up before you make the leap. Now, how do I know this? Because I've been through that too. Brought somebody into my home, no problem. Come on in. Oh, yeah, I couldn't wait to get her out. We were not compatible.
You know what? And with all respect, and I understand now how big might be the problem for other people. I'm very grateful to my upbringing, being a Eastern European from former Soviet Union, or maybe it's no, it's not only for Jewish community which I belong to, but I didn't have such a problem, and I can tell you. So I live with my mother-in-law. She's 86 years old, and I divorced with her son, but I cannot divorce with her. I know it's exceptional case. We live all the time, all the years together. At first, I came. We used to live kind of several generation in small apartment even because of circumstances. And not only circumstances, I really know her, and I didn't want her to go to any facility. She wanted to make me free. She was, and I was refusing it for her. But it was during the COVID, actually. For 10 years, 10, 15 years, she was in a line waiting for this. No, but we live together, and it's what one of the reason why I'm here still in Toronto, but it gives me purpose.
Of course, that's wonderful. Good for you. That's fantastic.
No, but I feel really good. But I understand that I know this person. My parents passed away. I don't have my mother, but my mother-in-law became my best friend and actually like mother. Everyone thinks that she's my mother, but I know that different people work through such situation different way. Not everyone develops such good relationship, or maybe not everyone is happy with such a good mother-in-law like me.
Yeah.
I would say because it's important as well. But yes, I'm more thinking about maybe selfishly, where I will be in years in such situation, because my children were raised in North America. Different.
Yeah, exactly. That's the truth. There's the mentality that occurs, and if you think about it, our society is much different than for instance, I have a Filipino VA, and she takes care of her mother and her grandmother, and that's part of their culture, that they are revered as really the matriarchs of the family, and they should be honored. And we don't do that here in the United States the way that we should. It's and what I was getting to, I was gonna get to the TikTok video about what to do with mom. I did a short little, I think 4-minute video about what are you gonna do with mom, and I ended up with about 170,000, views and about 2,000 comments of women coming forward and saying, "We don't know what to do with mom. We think we're gonna put her in," and it all came down to, "We're gonna put her into an assisted living or put her into a facility." When you go back and you ask those women, "Is that what your mother wants?" The answer is no, mom wants to stay at home. So if you've got a disconnect between the daughter and the mother about where the mother is going to stay, 99% of the time, the daughter ends up winning because there is no choice for the mother. So what if we could give her a choice?
I have a choice. My solution in kind of similar situation, from what I heard from other women here in Canada and United States, and I know that it's not choice for everyone, but the options that I get to, and my interest was and still, like for years already, about independent living and assisted living facilities in Mexico, because they're different. And first of all, they're not so,
Structured.
majority of elderly people don't want to go to this facility because it looks like hospital, let's say. And the care is like hospital, and obviously that to live in your own home is best. But in Mexico, and I took doctors like gerontologists in age from Canada, and we traveled, checking different facilities in different Mexican states, who gearing to English speaking retirees or expats, because the trend is, I would say, one of people coming, like women, by the way, a lot of women and men and couples from United States, Canada, coming with their parents, emigrating. First of all, cost of living is different, climate is different, medical care is different. And mostly they are not confined to this big sanatorium like
Yeah,
big.
yeah. And treated like cattle.
Yeah, they have like home living, like big hacienda or different, up to 30, 40 people. Good format of medical care. They very mostly outside of the home. They have, and the women who helping them, caregivers, different, they have healthy food, a lot of sun, and it's a different lifestyle, and they live in home. They have doctors who coming to home depending on what they need. And they have their children who are 50, 60, living nearby, maybe in this city, and everyone is happy. And even, first of all, they're saving a lot of money. They get better quality of life, and sometimes, or often, medical care. And Mexico government even don't care about what status have the parents, because they know they're in a good facility and it's good for Mexico social development, economical development as well. But what I've heard from several people who shared with me the stories of their moms, actually even having taken them from the elderly facility, say in Oregon, even in California mostly, that they happy and they live better life and they feel good, and children feel that they can afford and provide better quality of life to women. Sorry for my long story.
And see, that's case in point because it's all over. Everyone is experiencing, everyone is seeking exactly what you're talking about. It's not bad to go to an assisted living facility. It isn't. It really isn't. But again, they were designed by men. They were designed
I even don't say I'm not a big fan of American medical system. It's a different, first of all, and Canadian is not so far away because, like, I had experience with assisted living in Israel, where my parents been, mom, and I can say even it's big, but it's a different vibe. It's very good. It's very good. And in Europe, like even it depends how it's run, what the ideas, and what I like about Mexican model, and they have different probably, but you can find different kind. You can find a small facility, home-like facility, and with good care. So it's I understand that profit is important to from the business perspective, but somehow they balance a profit with small amount of people and good care.
Right, right. The things that we have done over the last 3 years is we've very much tried to target and look at what is it that a aging woman, a mature woman, what is it that she wants when she retires, when she what first off, what does a woman who is 55 want for her mother and for herself in the future. But once you get to the mother side, like somebody like myself, who would be the mother, what is somebody like me? What would I want? And in researching the women in, especially in our network, we've researched about 3,000 women to find out where are they at? What do they want? What are they looking for? And the common denominator is they really want to live alone, but they want access to a common area to women. So they want that private room, they want that private area. And whether that be living in somebody else's home with a common area where they've got a bathroom inside of their own place. And if they wanted to have a little oven or a microwave or something in their room, having it large enough so it would be like a master suite. And then if they did want to go out to the common area, they could do that. See, you can't find places like that. You can find a home that's got 3 bedrooms, that's got 1 master suite, but the rest of them are small bedrooms. What we're recommending is if you want to turn your house into a golden space and you want to bring in women that will have the exact same thing that you do, let's do a redesign of your home. Or better yet, let's build one where you have 4 or 5 women, and let's build one that's going to be satisfactory to all of you together, where you can still have your independence. But on top of that, you don't want to just have the women come together just to live. Let's give them something to do. Purpose. Let's give them something to do. So that's where the golden spaces is connected to the golden connections, where they now have the opportunity to be able to co-create, and they can now come together and do things in a virtual manner as well as a physical manner if need be. And they have a purpose, they have a reason to get up every day. They can do things together and they don't have to really go anywhere. The vision of our huge community, the Golden Life community, is about 300 units that are different, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom apartment, condo type, that is car free. So there's no cars. We don't feel that women that are our age, we can use Uber or we can rent a car and have a car that's right on the facility because we don't go out that often. And if we have a community that has access to everything right there, then we don't need to have that. We also believe that it's super, super important to have organic gardening so that these women can have the healthy eating that they should have, but also get their hands back in the ground, get their hands into that earth that has such wonderful energy, and let's have our own organic food. And that's a major thing. So we have an organic garden that we believe, an organic greenhouse that is part of it. But the most important thing that we love about the large community is live broadcasting studio, bringing women in so that everyone can hear their story worldwide, and broadcasting. I might give a caveat right now that the home that I'm in, it's a 3-bedroom home, and we are just going for funding right now where we're going to convert my home into a golden space. I've got enough room to be able to put 3 casitas in the back, and we'll have a live broadcasting studio, and this will be a prototype for what we're talking about.
Amazing, amazing
I know.
story. And again, Kathy, you've turned adversity into inspiration for everyone who is.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can you share how your journey, especially after the loss of your husband, shaped the idea and creation of the Golden Life community?
The Golden Life community, the thoughts of it came after my husband had passed away. But I might say that the type of relationship I had with my husband was one of pure, true, real friendship. Although we were lovers and we were husband and wife, we were best of friends to the extent that he was with me no matter what. So when he passed away, I never believed him to pass away. I believed for him to still live in my heart, and he's still there today. So whatever decisions I made, I would say to him things like, "You've got an upper hand. What's going on out there? You got to help me a little here." And when things would go wrong or my journey was the things that held me back, I was able to plow through them. So I won't go into the details of what had happened to me, but I had a horrific situation happen to me where I moved to Las Cruces and I was exposed to a fraudster. Let's put it that way, a female fraudster that I had known for 10 years. And she ruined my life. And I lost my home. I lost a number of things. And during that time, I realized that, oh my God, if that's happening to me, it's happening to other women as well. Because when we get older, we trust more, especially if we've known somebody for a long period of time without really looking to find out who they really are. And I didn't do that. So I suffered the consequences. And that's how the Golden Life started, because I thought, oh my God, I've got to let other women know. So through a pure manifestation, I don't know how, I was introduced to a woman that was experienced the same thing I did with this same woman. And she had lost, and her 88-year-old mother had lost money from her as well. She got scammed with her. So we joined forces and we realized that we had so much in common. We looked at putting together the Golden Life community. And it started out as just a group of women, 300 women on Facebook as a group. And that was it. And it wasn't until I was in the hospital, because all of the stress that had occurred with this woman that scammed me, all the stress that occurred, I ended up in the hospital. And that's when my brother came in and they gave me a year to live and put all my affairs in order and everything else. I did a video from the hospital with 104 temperature, with pneumonia, with exacerbations. I was really in bad shape. And I thought, I'm going to do a 5-minute video to let them know I'm still here. I haven't croaked yet, but if I do, I want them to know that the whole purpose has to continue to keep going on, because these women came together for the purpose of not only wanting to support me, but realizing that they could be in the same situation. They could have their homes taken from them. They can get involved with financial scams. They can believe in somebody and not know what to do about it and how to protect themselves. So I did this 5-minute video, and it was funny. It was a funny one, Emily. It was joking about, here I am in the hospital. I'm supposedly I'm supposed to croak, but I'm not dead yet. And and the things that we're going to do. And it ended up that within 48 hours, although it was only on Facebook, I ended up with over 180,000 views and over 2,000 comments of women, similar to the TikTok thing, the women coming forward and saying, oh my God, do we really need it? And that's when I realized, I'm in the hospital. I'm supposed to die. Guess what? Not today, not ever. I'm not going anywhere. I have a purpose. And that's what brought me over the edge there. That's how the whole thing started, and it's been going on now for 3 years, and there's been buku setbacks and buku things that keep holding us back, and then we move forward and we hold back, we move forward. But no matter what, my brother keeps saying, "Are you having fun, Kath? Are you having fun?" And I say, "Yes, I am. I'm having fun." Well, what better gift can you give yourself than to see the smile on someone's face when you know you helped them through the rain?
Amazing, amazing story. Now you are TikTok and social media influencer as an AI
Yeah,
influencer and digital
yeah.
artist. What inspires your artwork on platforms like Midjourney? Yeah, I understand. Mainly you focus on mature women and pets, and I've seen your work. I was surprised that it's all you. I thought it's somebody from your circle. How find time and inspiration for such multidimensional work?
I've actually been a digital artist, self-taught digital artist since 2000, a little before that. So it's been 24 years that I've been doing it. But what caught my eye about the AI aspect of it is that an older woman, she can either look at it as something that's going to hurt her or she can look at it as something's going to help her. With the notion of AI, there are tools and apps and things that will be there to help her through her daily life. But in my case, what it did, it allowed me to have my creative expression coming out. Because if those in your audience that are not familiar with the AI, Midjourney, or many of the others, you have a thought and then you have an emotion that goes with that thought. I took the time to learn how to create prompting that would take my thoughts and take the emotions that were wrapped around those thoughts and put them into a prompt that would then come out to an image. Now, it takes a great deal, and it's not something that happens overnight, but I have created over 17,000 Midjourney graphics, actually 18,000 Midjourney graphics that are all of them, every one of them is based on my thoughts and my emotions. So what we've done is we've taken many of the products that I have created, the artwork, and I should say that then I'll take that image and then I'll bring it into Photoshop and I'll manipulate it a little bit, maybe change some hair colors, add some aging, add some things to and eliminate some things. So it's not pure AI; it's a manipulated AI, but it started with that thought. And then I've created these images that will resonate with the women in our community because if it has something to do with, I like to do a lot of abstract stuff like Salvador Dali type of styles where you've got a woman with her head and then the tree comes through the head and then surreal and then she's got herself as a child or as a younger woman beside her, but the world is around her and miracles will happen for her. So there's the emotions that go into it, and that's what went into my artwork, and that's why we have a shop called the Golden Life Shop. And the shop has a little over 1,200 products in it right now.
Amazing. 1,200. So it's working. It's a different business even to have online sale and printing it on there. I've seen bags, like purses and different type of
I'll give you an example. There's one that depends on how you're gonna come to the shop. If you want something that is gonna be there to lift you up, maybe you've got a sad moment, maybe you've got a melancholy moment, maybe you're grieving, maybe you're feeling good about yourself knowing that you've lost everything. You may even be homeless. You may be whatever you are looking at. We wanted to address all of those emotions that come to a woman. And one that I particularly love, and it doesn't resonate with everyone, but we call it the peaceful upset. And what I did is I created a picture of a woman that she's a professional woman that has now lost it all. She's not homeless, but she's in a shabby outfit. she's sitting on the stairs and she's looking up and she's in upset. And then that's the back. The idea is that on the back is that's behind you. Now in front of you, if you become a golden and you're part of the sisterhood, now you have a peaceful upset because you're feeling good about yourself. So on the front, it's a picture of a woman just sitting there peacefully. And that's how it is. So some will say, oh, that's very sad. You don't want it. That's something I ordered for myself.
No, but sadness, it's part of life. It depends how you process it. And yes, and if it's imprinted and you see it as a good way, it's all our life with our ups and downs. And we cherish it as well. It's how I understand at least.
Yeah.
And finally, for this part, what motivates you to continue your entrepreneurial work and advocacy? And how can our listener join you on your inspiring journey?
Okay. What motivates me is something that we started again before I got sick, which is called Golden Voices in our private membership, the Golden Connections. We started doing Zoom calls that were private. And within those Zoom calls, I mentioned earlier that women would come together and they would share their stories, and we would have a specific topic, not a whole bunch of topics, one topic, and we would share on that. And that's where the healing began. Now, what we are in the process of doing is taking that Golden Voices and bringing it into our private membership, where it will become private for members with a membership fee. And in addition to that, they will have access to be able to go into what we call the Mudroom. Now, the Mudroom is based on Simon Sinek. If you're familiar with him, he's one of my heroes. He says that the problem with older women is, and not so much older women, but yeah, actually older women, is they don't know how to be a golden friend. They don't know how to be one because they've lost all their friends. Either they've passed away or they've just lost them. And now they're in a life where they have very few friends, good friends. You can have a lot of friends, but not good, true friends that are goldens that will be there for you, where that friend will put you as what top priority. So what he said is that if you have a friend and you see that friend is sitting in the mud in pain, if you can walk away or you can go and sit with them in the mud, as uncomfortable as it is, sit there in the mud for as long as it takes until they feel better. Let them tell their story. Don't try to fix them. Don't judge them. Don't do anything. Just let them be and let them do it. And we all know that if we can tell our story and we can get our emotions out and we can get those tears out and we can get the feelings out, we feel better. We feel better. It's when someone says to us, you know what you should have been doing? You should have been doing this or you should have been doing that. That's when we start to judge ourselves. But if we were just left alone to be able to talk and say whatever we really wanted to say about that particular time that put you in the mud, then why not let others come in, hear what you have to say without passing judgment? So we've created the Mudroom, where when a woman has a difficult time, we call it instant help. You ring the bell, you let somebody in the membership know that you are in the Mudroom and you need 7 to 8 minutes to vent. You won't be judged. Nobody's going to try to fix you, but know that you have women that are there that will look you in the eye and let you know that you matter and that you care, and or that they care about you, and that there will never be any judgment. And then once you get done with it, you feel better. So that is our golden connections. That's what it's going to be about, period. So that's what motivates me, is to get that up and running and have that as the flagship reason why somebody would want to come into the Golden Connections.